What if Deku was Hunk from Resident Evil, the Nomu lab? As we go to Deku, who's currently standing on the roof of the Umbrella security base, currently waiting for someone. As a helicopter is flying through the clouds, as someone with a mask and a hood is holding onto the side of the helicopter as it's flying in. It's been a while since I've been to Japan. And I guess I'll have to change the accent a little bit after all. Don't want to get people too suspicious. It's just another job. As Deku looks at the time, you should have been here by now. As the helicopter starts lowering down towards the helipad, as he sees Fred just hanging on to the side of the helicopter, as it gets close enough to the ground as it's preparing to land, Fred just jumps off and lands right in front of Deku. So, Izuku, it's been a while. Call me Hunk. Fred. Aw, come on now. I come back from, Mexico, and this is how you treat me? After all, I gotta admit, it was a tough time. A lot of good missions. A lot of, as he pulls out his blade to Deku's throat. Well, fun. You might want to look again. As he looks down and he notices the gun aiming at his heart. Your reflexes are as good as always. You could have shot me if I was going in for the kill. As he just throws the knife in the air before it lands in his pocket. We need to talk. What is it about? Is it about that, mission you need to brief me on? Sorry, I was in a little bit of a situation that had come to my attention. A firefight, if you will. Let's head inside before the propellers make any more noise. It should be shutting off in a moment. Just follow me. Sure thing, as Izuku and Fred were walking into the facility. As Fred has his hands behind his head as he's walking. So, what's the job? We are going after a Nomu facility by our superior's orders. Our superiors? It's odd. They usually don't want us to do anything outside of odd jobs and cover-ups. This is new. As long as there's a fight involved, I'm all for it. Calm down, Fred. You just came back from a fight in Mexico. Some thugs were just trying to steal some of our tech, and we had to teach them a lesson, right? As Izuku turns around and glares through his mask. Yeah, I get it. No more questions about that. But tell me, briefing. You gotta give me some details. Fine. We are going to attack a Nomu facility within a few hours from now. A Nomu facility. Information we got from the black market. Very deep and very hard to secure. Who's our informant? Classified. Whose orders do these come from? Classified. Oh, come on. We're about the same rank. You can let me in on any secrets that the higher-ups have told you. Classified, Fred. You are the demolition expert. You don't need to know all this intel. Yes. Just because you're one of the higher-ups' favorite soldiers, you get all the inside detail. There are things I don't know, Fred. Just bear in mind that. And if we follow orders, you don't have to worry. You gotta admit, having some detours on some missions isn't a bad thing. One of your detours cost you your entire team. Do I need to remind you of the Alaska incident? So what if my explosion caused an avalanche and I was the only one to survive from a tumbling car down a mountain? I still got the intel and the stuff we needed. That might be true, but you caused unnecessary casualties. At least I got the job done. After all, these people they send us with jobs, unlike all the elites, which is our top operatives, which is me, you, and a few others. They're just fodder. Literally, cannon fodder. They die on pretty much every mission. So who's the team we're going in? Me, you, and a couple others. Any elite agents like ourselves? Come on, you gotta tell me the details. No. Although there is one rookie that shines above the rest in our group. A rookie? Yes. This should be good. What's his name? Head of our police force, Captain Inkwell. Captain Inkwell? What makes him so important that he's going on this job with us? He was the head of our common security for public point of view. They decided he needs some more field training with experienced pros. So we have a side objective during our entire mission is to make sure he does not die. He's the public version of the Umbrella Security Force, while we're the classified. You gonna call in the rest of the team for this operation? I got bad news about that. Don't tell me one of them got themselves killed now. After all, we survived plenty of things, especially the Rockford Island incident. As Deku looks at Fred, I know, a touchy subject. After all, the ones that survived that incident became the top operatives of this whole organization. Am I wrong? That is enough. Listen, Fred. If someone would have to hear that, we would have to silence them. Don't worry, I already looked around. And there is no one here. And I mean literally, it's an empty hallway. Even if it was, I could light them up with my pistol. We could easily say it was an accident. We don't need unnecessary casualties, I will say that again. Fine. I'll dial it down. Anything else that needs to be said? We leave in an hour. Fine. I guess I'll meet with this Captain Inkwell in an hour. One more thing. You will not ever speak of the Rockford Island incident ever again. Fine. But you owe me something in return. As Deku simply looks at Fred, what is it? You gotta tell me. Which higher up you follow with the most loyalty? As Deku just seemingly goes closer to Fred. That is classified and you'll never get that information. I will one of these days. You can't keep hiding who's your main person that gives you orders forever. Each one of us was given a specific higher up to follow orders from. And apparently this is a joint operation, so I have to at least have some details, even if they don't tell me about the other higher ups they're working with. The board doesn't need to be mentioned in this. Fair point. Anyway, anything happened on your end? I heard there was a incident involving an intel leak. It was handled. Handled? As then suddenly a few guards come in. Excuse us, sirs. As they're carrying a body bag. As I said, handled. I feel bad for that guy. Let me guess, you tortured him until he gave you the intel? You know how I operate. Very well. Let's get this mission underway. As they walk outside, as it's raining, As the back of a door of a van opens, as Izuku and Fred get in, as then a few other agents, including Captain Inkwell. Hello, you must be two of the top operatives that were sent on this assignment. Hello, I'm Captain Inkwell. Hunk, Agent Hunk, and this is Agent Fred. Our orders were to make sure you come back alive, as well as to procure a specimen, dead or alive, from a certain laboratory we discovered. Alright. It shouldn't be too hard. Will this be public information as well? No, this is a classified objective. Nothing you see will be spread out to the public or any organization. This is an umbrella security job only. No intel shall be leaked. I have your full attention and your word that you will not spread this intel? If you do, there will be consequences. And I mean severe consequences. I understand that. It's good to see that I get to team up with at least some of the, highest agents in the organization. As Fred just gets up and puts his hand around, don't worry, you'll be coming back alive. I can't say much about the rest, though. As Captain will just coughs. What do you mean by that? Oh, I guess I hit your back too hard. Yeah, I have to admit, I am pretty strong. But to answer that question, not a lot of people come back from these assignments. But don't worry, one of our jobs is to make sure you survive. And trust me, we don't want the consequences of you not coming back. As Fred just glares at Izuku, don't get anything funny. Easy, easy, as he takes his hand off Captain Equal's side. Shoulder. I was only saying. As he sits back down, how long until we arrive? As the vehicle starts moving. Well, I better brief all of you. As Deku just stands up in the moving van. Listen, we are entering a secret laboratory in the mountains, several miles away from here. We are expected to arrive in 3 hours, exactly 3 p.m. The operation does not start until 9 p.m., so we will be staking out and watching the entire surrounding of the facility, dating and also making sure no intel, no people get away, and to mark who comes in and who leaves. We strike at 9 p.m. when it's dark. We move in and we neutralize all enemies, and then we grab our prize. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Good. Now, Captain Inkwell, how long have you been in the Umbrella Security? About 3 years now. You've become quite a prominent person in the 3 years you've joined. You are more of our public image of the Umbrella Security. Yeah, I was surprised to hear that too. And I was surprised that we were given orders to make sure you don't die on this mission. Really? I was just told this would be more of a training opportunity for me. Don't worry. You'll be getting some excellent training and tips from the pros. Will we be collabing with the heroes on this? No, this is an Umbrella Security operation only. No heroes are getting involved. And you will not tell any of the heroes about this operation. I got it. As a few hours would pass as they would get to the site. So this is the building. Correct, an old abandoned warehouse in the forest. As Deku gives a signal with his hands as a few men move in different directions, we got 2 other teams already surrounding the building. We move in on my signal. As then the next few hours would pass, as it is exactly 8:59. This is Fred with Delta Team. What is it, Delta Team? Don't worry, we're just moving in early. Got that. We'll be moving in a minute. We'll move in from the roofs. As we go to Fred, who's currently just climbing up a ladder with the rest of his team falling behind. As they're on the roof of the old abandoned warehouse, as Fred signals to the other men to, move around the ceiling entrance. As Fred gets to the door, as he just signals them to halt, preparing to breach. As Fred just opens the door before throwing some, smoke grenades down. As when he hears coughing, he just opens it again before jumping down and opening fire on every person in the room, killing a total of 3 people. Roof entrance secure. Security is not going off from my end. As Izuku just signals the rest of the agents to move in. As he kicks the door open and immediately start firing at the few villains in the room. As Captain Equal was behind, just moving in with Izuku. First floor cleared. As the other guards are scouring the facility. It just looks like a regular facility. As he's looking around, you're right. Nothing out of the ordinary for a warehouse. As Fred just got into Izuku's position. So, what do y'all find? Nothing yet. It's odd, a few guards, but no entrance to a secret lab. Quite odd. Maybe. As he walks to a wall, as he's just putting his hand around the wall, pressing it. What are you doing? Listen, when you're doing a job like we do. As he then lifts his hand and just hits the wall hard, revealing a button. As the button just slowly envelops into the wall as it was covered with a layer of concrete, revealing a hidden passageway. As Izuku would say, keep an eye out and look at your surroundings. You can easily tell if you're being watched or if there's a hidden entrance. Quite a few villains have these in their bases. And heroes, surprisingly. So you gotta keep a key eye on things. That or you just blow up the door. This is a stealth operation. We do not need to alert the facility about this. Alright. As then he just points his knife at Izuku. But come on, you can't have a little fun. The knife flies right by Izuku's head, killing a villain that was about to try to stab Izuku. As he falls backward, it makes a thud. I didn't see him coming. Most of them you don't. Most likely had a stealth quirk, maybe even a sound deprivation quirk to prevent him from being heard. But it doesn't matter. Let's move in. As Captain Inkwell falls behind Izuku and Fred. As they're looking throughout the facility. We got a lot of documents here. As they had entered into a room with a lot of paperwork. Look through, find anything you can. As they're going through paperwork, as Fred's just looking through a thing. Come on, where are some pictures? Why are you looking through files? Looking for pictures. You know I'm not the reading type. I'm more of a action person. Keep an eye out for any detailed files. Hey, I think I got something here. What is it? It says, Project High-End Nomus. As he grabs that, as he looks through it, this is one thing we came here for. As he puts it in his pocket, now let's move in through this facility. As they start hearing gunfire, that must have been one of the other teams. Let's move. As Izuku, Fred, and Captain Equal would run out of the room and run down the hall, where they would hear a gunfight as a few of the Nomus had broken out of their experimental chambers and started attacking the soldiers. As Izuku entered the room and started shooting with his pistol, as it starts to regenerate. As it runs towards Izuku, as Fred just simply shoves Izuku to the side a little bit before running at the Nomu. Come on, come at me. As it would rush to throw a punch, as Fred would do a flip, cutting its arm as it just regenerate. Regeneration, eh? Well, if cutting won't work, let's try to just shoot into that little brain of yours, as he would unload the entire clip into the brain, as it would still start to try to throw punches at Fred. As it would grab his leg, as it's about to swing him around, as then Deku would just shoot at its arm before it let go of Fred, who had just grabbed the Nomu's arm before doing a full-on flip to gain onto the back of the Nomu. Well, I guess that's the first time I did that, as then he just then starts stabbing it the head with his knife. Why won't you just die? As then the Nomu would just fall over dead. Note: if something doesn't die, stab it in the brain a few times. Although I'm wondering why the bullets didn't do it. Oh wait, I'm falling forward. As then he would just land face first into the ground. As Captain Inkwell was just shocked. Is he gonna be okay? He's gonna be fine. He's taken a lot more damage than that. Although I might need a stretcher. I think I sprained my leg. You'll be fine. Walk it off. As Fred just gets up before just stretching his leg. You know what? Stretching it a little bit doesn't hurt. Well, I guess that ruins bringing back a Nomu alive. Not necessarily. As Deku goes over to one of the tubes that still has a Nomu, unfinished Nomu, still alive in it. We're bringing this one back with us. As Captain Inkwell looks around, as he sees a couple of dead Umbrella security. So who's going to clean this up? A team will come in and wipe the whole place clean. Don't worry. Although, good luck carrying that Nomu, by the way. As Captain Inkwell looks at the dead Nomu. Why? We're bringing that thing with us as well. You could say this was a 2-for-1 job. They get a live test subject and they get a dead one. This way, they won't have any problems if we got the wrong one. It also gets the higher-ups off your back. Okay, I guess that works. As he just starts to drag the Nomu's corpse out of the room with some help of other surviving Umbrella security. He didn't do bad for his assignment. I mean, on the way in here and walking into rooms, he cleaned them quite efficiently. Not to mention, he's a pretty good shot. Isn't that right, Agent Hunk? Yes. I have to admit, he's not a bad shot, but his reflex and timing could use some work. He's a bit too trusting as well. Might get him killed one day. Come on, lighten up on the guy. After all, we were told to make sure he gets back alive. Guarantee he's not dying to that dead thing. I mean, I literally had to stab its brain until it was like mush. Says the person that would have put a grenade in it if it wasn't for us not allowed to use lethal force. Well, we use a lot of lethal force, you got to admit. But, of course, you didn't want me to go with the explosives. Yes, because we didn't need the risk of damaging the facility even more. Whatever. So who are you turning in that document to? None of your business. You can get in contact with the team. We'll be working together for at least a little bit longer before you're assigned to a different unit. So the old team's getting back together. Glad to hear it. Oh, don't worry. Also, sorry about what happened on Rockford Island. As Fred just walks away. You really need to learn when to lighten up. After all, that little playful act of yours is just a facade for your crazy personality. As he walks over to the still alive Nomu. Now time to detach it. As he just presses a button, as all the liquid would drain, so they could move the pod with the alive Nomu. Move it. As people would come in and just start, removing the pod, as they would carry it out of the room. After everyone had left, a team would come in with gasoline, torch the place. As Deku would just walk out. As a few minutes later, as Deku's just sitting in the back of a car, as they're driving away, a huge explosion happens as the warehouse is blown to bits. As we go to Fred in a helicopter. Now that's what I call a bomb. Now, where am I heading now? We're heading back to headquarters. You gotta be kidding me again? Got it. They need to have some more exciting missions in Japan. Sir, you are part of one of the elite squads. I'm one of the only elites the Umbrella Security has. So just go ahead and get us back to headquarters. I don't want to have to hear about being late again from Izuku. And that is the end of part 3 of What If Deku Was Hunk from Resident Evil. I hope you like and subscribe. Hopefully y'all enjoyed.